Hello, is the light okay? While we're waiting for people to turn up, does anyone know how to do the stopwatch on your phone? Because I get carried away and I gotta like press things and ramble. I ramble and I don't know what time it is. So if anyone's got like a phone with an app, it would be really good if I could just press it and then there's a stopwatch running in the background. Because if I put on like a recorder thing, the screen blanks out after a time. So I want it on without the... And is the sound okay? I've sound checked because I've upped the things, the volumes on the side after a thing. So, I mean, stopwatch, guys, come on. Anyone? Take two, by the way. Sorry about the first bit. We experienced some technical difficulties. An egg timer. No, it's got to be... It sounds good, thank you. So the sound is good. Just while I'm curious to know, like if I turned it all the way, if I do this, I don't know what these dials do. There's dials on the side. So I'm going to turn them down and then you can tell me while we're waiting for the chat to fill. Does this make... I mean, can you hear me now? And can you hear me now? Or am I just making... And then of course we need to do the stopwatch thing on a... Can anyone hear me? Did that make a difference? That was quieter and same, someone said. So stopwatch on the phone. Who's got like an Android? Hands up if you got an Android. Anyone? Guys. Anyone? Let's work through this together. Apparently it's Steve from Vanguard Tactics' birthday today. Make sure you say hi to Steve from Vanguard Tactics. Adrian, thank you for your donation. Thank you. Angie, thanks for being a member for many months. Android gang, hands up. Oh, just say okay Google, set a timer. Okay Google, set a timer. I have my machine spirit turned off. I don't want it listening to all the things. Click on your clock, the stopwatch is there. Click on my clock and it comes up with weather. Why does it I click on my clock, you should just be on the clock where you set alarm. Set alarm, clock, that button. Stopwatch, yes! Of course, I have an alarm thing. Yeah. So I'll press the start on that. And look. It's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds old, the stream. That's perfect. And then hopefully that screen won't turn off. So 88 concurrent viewers. We're getting there. The stopwatch is on. Hopefully a few people haven't been driven. The light. I'm not happy with the light either. So the sound's okay, right? Yes. The sound's okay. We have established that. The stopwatch is on. We've established that. I'm not happy with the height of this. Because apparently your head should be in the top half of the screen, not halfway up like your Valrak or something. And then this, you know, that's a bit too dark, but this is the hobby light. So I could put that one on and that gives a bit of softer light on that side. But this is the, you know, everyone's got one of these. Well, not everyone, but I actually didn't have one until the last couple of years. God, my eyes suck. But my eyes these days, I really needed it. So when I'm painting things, I need to have that brighter light. So is that better? So here's, 1 minute. And then you got that. Oh, that's just too dark, isn't it? Okay, maybe I should, what I should do is ask a question and then pay attention to the answers. So let's try. Hi stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day this Monday. I've had a lovely weekend. And so we're going to start the stream now. Thank you for everyone for popping in. We're at 100, 1 minute. And the light, okay? So that's not, is it? That's not the wave. Is that the wave? And then I've got to kind of remember. That's kind of okay, isn't it? So with the lamp there, I think, with the stopwatch, it's still running. Well done, my stopwatch buddies. And with that there, and the sound is here. So we're all good. Okay, so long as we're good, I'm good. Are you good? Who's good? 1 minute, let's start again. So thank you everyone for jumping in already. We've had a dono already, thank you. Let's restart the stream for the third time, okay? I can't put the thing, but I can press. I've got one for for T phase. Look, you might have seen the new things on. Don't actually press the same. So we back. Hi. Uh, Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this lovely Monday, the 25th of July, in M2. I hope everyone's doing well. The heat in the UK has faded away a little bit over the weekend, and it was a bit stormy today. It's been a bit off-on-y for summer in England. Basically, for those people who don't live in England and want to know what the weather is like here, most of the time it just rains. Most of the time it just rains and it's cold, and sometimes it rains and it doesn't cold, but it doesn't cold. But those times are very rare. Normally around this time of year, but most of the time it rains and it's cold, and sometimes it's horribly cold, and then sometimes around this time of year we see the sun, and that's pretty much the weather in the UK. If anyone else is out there globally from other parts of this terror, the bastion of the Imperium of Man, please put your hands up and let us know whereabouts in the world you are. And today we're going to talk about campaigns, heresy, babies, and obviously I'm going to babble a little bit. So before we jump in and I take you through, the idea of these things is to keep you updated with my hobby. Those who want to know and want to take part in my hobby mojo can jump in every Monday and take part in my hobby mojo with me. So everyone who's joined in, thank you for joining. Dagda, thank you for being around for 7 months. Is Ermagun still around in 40k? He might not even be around in 30k, son. I'm sorry. Oh, the other thing as well, I might have to do a 4th restart, is because it has occurred to me that I haven't got very many moderators and I don't know how to mod someone. And I noticed Mikey P is in the chat. Add moderator. Mikey P, you're now a moderator. Thanks for joining in. And if you see any of our close friends, jump in. My close friends, your close friends, and of course, Stylus. Let me know, and then I'll add moderators, because you guys are popping in and out, I've noticed, over the last few live streams, and it would be good to have some friends in there keeping an eye on this crazy bunch, such as Sam Nash is back in the house after last week. I don't even know why he's showing his face around here. Honestly, shameful levels that was. Shameful levels of attention-seeking whoring himself out, all so I can buy some more heresy models. And I'll have you know, Mr. Nash, I bought some heresy models. So I started on campaigns, heresy, babies, and babble. Well, we know that I'm really waiting for the Emperor's Children, and I want to do Esfand 3 Emperor's Children, Loyalist Emperor's Children, which means it's Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4 armor, and you can't get a hold of that for love nor money. And then I want to do a Death Guard as well. And so I can't do any of them. So I was getting a bit excited about the AdMech, the Mechanicum that I have. And so I was looking at my Mechanicum force, because I never really had about 2,500 to 2,300 of Mechanicum Tagmata, and they don't have any vehicles in it. I loaded them all up with monsters. You had monsters in the old rule set, like Thanatars and Castellans and Vorax and things like that. And the idea was I had a whole army of non-vehicles, but cybernetic constructs. That's how my Mechanicum built. And it wasn't more than 3,000 painted, maybe. And so I had a good look through Forge World, and I bought some more Castellans. I think they're Castellans. The ones that the big chunky robots of Doom that are not as strong as Dreadnoughts, but like Dreadnoughts with the bolt cannons and the power fists and punch, punch, punch. I bought more of them because you can take them as troops. Or you could take them as troops before, but now I don't know what you can take them as. I want them. I want the punchy ones. I don't want any vehicles. I think I want a couple more Thanatars as well, because one of the things my Mechanicum old list lacked was anti-vehicle. The best way to anti-vehicle in the old AdMech list, because with it full of monsters and things and Voraxes and Myrmidons, obviously they're very good, was punch stuff. But it'd be nice if bigger stuff broke apart at range, because there are some very scary things in the 31st millennium that can punch back, such as Primarchs, and Dreadnoughts are monsters now, and Primarchs. Did we mention the Primarchs? So yeah. And Terminator's having 2 wounds now and 30k. It's all very exciting stuff. So thanks, Sam. Money has already gone to a good cause on another army that I didn't even mention that I was going to do because I've already got it, but I'm adding to it. And then there's a paint scheme tutorial for anyone who is interested in that. Actually, I did do a paint scheme tutorial for the 30k AdMech, as well as there's a Skitarii one in there for the 40k AdMech. And everyone knows 30k AdMech is better than 40k anyway. The models are better. You feel more of a tech priest pulling your forge together, whereas in 40k it's a bit more prescriptive. Here's this forge world, here's this forge world, and if you combine a couple of successor chapter tactics or forge world dogmas, that isn't a forge world. And it's mainly Skitarii and cult mech heavy, but there's many other parts of a Mechanicum Tagmata Knights, for example, which are no longer in the AdMech book. Titans, who doesn't like Titans? And the different Ordos, such as Ordo Malagra, Reductor, and the Myrmidon cults, and all sorts of things. So there's more breadth in the feudal... There was more breadth of models in 30k. They look better. You feel more of a Forge Master. I need to do a video on it. I'll do a video on it. Why 30k AdMech is better than 40k AdMech. Need a suitably clickbaity title, people. Shame official rules don't let you take Skitarii in 30k. I just wish there was Skitarii as well. Yeah, in the old edition, you couldn't take Skitarii in 30k for some reason. Hopefully when the new codex comes out, 30k codex comes out, then you're allowed to take Skitarii. Because Skitarii were, back in the day, they were some of the elite shock troops, one of the standing armies of Mars, one of the elites, Skitarii cohorts, yeah. And they were across the... What is my stopwatch doing? Still going, it's good. Were across the whole galaxy as bad back. Well, not bad back, just... They were They were part of the standing force, the cohorts that were spread throughout the galaxy by Mars and owed fealty only to Mars. And that's why they became so big after 30k. But they certainly were in 30k, along with the Cybernetica and the Knightly Houses and the Titan Legions. And the Mechanicum Tagmata, I believe, is something along... I mean, Mechanicum Tagmata in Low Gothic means something like that which is divined, not divined, but that is meant for war, that which is meant for holy war, or that is which is destined for holy war. And it is the combined resources of an entire forge world, not the combined resources, but whatever resources a forge world needs to pull together in order to go to war, including the different Ordos and cults and things like that. So that's the kind of depth it had anyway, and hopefully they'll have Skitarii units in the 30k one. So that's Mechanicum. Love my Mechanicum. I don't like Titans not on tabletop anyway, Aussie. No, they're not. They're really designed for... Titans aren't really designed for 40k. They're designed for Apocalypse. And hopefully we'll get better Apocalypse rules in the next edition as well. And they're designed for people who like to collect toys. And we all like to collect toys, regardless of whether we're painters or players. We all like to collect toys. And some of us have lots of money and like to collect really big toys. I mean, I know some people with a number of Titans, which is incredible. So, Mikey P, you got to wave at me, guys. Monkey's in the house. Hi, Monkey. I'm trying to make moderators. Add moderator. So you're now a moderator. You have power to kick people and make sure that there's no spam bots and things like that. And because I get distracted, so what I mean by kick people is come down upon people with great wrath and furious anger and just throw them out if they even say something horrible about biscuits, holy biscuits. So that's my heresy, doing some of that. And Yeah, so I've got 2 new moderators in the chat. Guys, did you like my Winters is Coming thing? That's a thing that Sultan did. Getting a new logo as well at some point. And love to see 30. Yeah, yes, exactly. So yeah, where was I? So AdMech. Let's just say the AdMech conversation done. We've done that. We could talk about babies now. Can we criticize communion wafers? Smilomaniac. Can we criticize? No, because we have a no politics, no religion. Mikey P, if he says another thing about religion, unless it's the religion of the Omnissiah or the Lord Emperor of mankind or anything, then gone. Okay, gone. No religion, no politics in here. This is escapism. So, okay. Hey, Winters, hope that you're doing fine. Hello, everyone in chat. Hi, Mikey P. That's hi, Colonel. Monkey, how Salt managed to do those screens with you in his ear was a miracle. Yes, it was. But thank you for Sultan for doing them all. But yeah, thanks for dropping in. Right, okay. So, Heresy, I think we covered that. Babies. Congratulations to Alex SEO and his lovely wife for giving birth on Friday, and now Alex SEO has a son and a daughter. And listen to this. Alex SEO was trying to convince, hi offspring, thank you for becoming tier 2. Alex SEO was talking to his wife for the last couple of weeks, and he wanted to call his new little girl Euphrates. How cool is that? It'd be Euphrates surname, which I won't share, but Euphrates. And he said he got really close to his wife to call the little baby Euphrates. Baby's fine, mummy's fine, everything's like that. She didn't buy Euphrates, but he did manage to slip in as a middle name. Her first name will be Imogen. She's very healthy, so happy birthday, Imogen, for 3 days ago or whenever. But he did manage to slip in as a middle name, Keela. Not Euphrates, but Keela, the first living saint of the Imperium. That's a 40k Don right there. My hat's off to you, Alex SEO. Well done. Congratulations to you and the missus. It's always good to find out that your penis works, isn't it? So, yeah. So that's the babies bit. Babble, we're just going to hit. So I've done Heresy, tick that off. Done the babies bit, tick that off. So how was my weekend? So what happened was, this weekend I was supposed to film a chunk of the new campaign. So we're on to campaigns. The new campaign, the Bell Tolls, with Monkey, who's in the chat, which is lovely. And the idea was there was another game that was supposed to happen on the Sunday. But yeah, Baby Keela, exactly. Hail, Baby Keela. What a Don. There was supposed to be another game on the Sunday, a group game, but one of the people who was due to come down for the group game accidentally got Ebola or something and couldn't make it. So the day in which we were supposed to do the group day, instead I did a double thing with Monkey, and the day that I was supposed to finish off the Bell Tolls, I've already done, and that day is going to be done for the group game next month. Which means the Bell Tolls is now finished. I haven't edited yet. But I'm really looking forward. I really liked how it ended. The Bell Tolls is a new campaign between Space Wolves and the End of All Things. And it came down to the last dice roll. And it was epic. And it had Death Guard in it. And there were so many 7s. This is the most number of 7s in history. Absolutely epic. So what I've decided to do with the Bell Tolls is, so I release a video on YouTube every other Sunday. And sometimes I put an extra video on YouTube on those Sundays, sometimes. But most of the time, the extra video on Sunday is in the deployment zone. So it goes YouTube DZ, YouTube DZ, YouTube DZ. And obviously if you're a DZ TV supporter, then you get a video every single week. So what I'm thinking of doing is, this Sunday it is because this was an extra one with the map one. The map one I dropped in as an extra one because hopefully everyone has seen the game that I put out yesterday between me and Mini Wargaming Matt. If you have seen the game between me and Mini Wargaming Matt, no spoilers in the chat. But that went up yesterday, and it's only an hour long, because if you haven't seen it, spoilers. It was fun. I had such a great time, and lots of people have commented that mine and Matt's interaction we got on so well together. He likes telling stories, and he's so good at narrating because he's been filming for so long that it was just, I mean, we were two peas in a pod, okay? We were two chicken nuggets in a box. We were two baby lambs rolling down a hill, recreating that scene from The Princess Bride. You know, like lambs to the bottom, leaving a string of wool back up to the top, a tether back to reality. And when we got to the bottom, we woke up and found that we were real children and came out of Never Never Land. It was that kind of genetic unity. Alfarius and Omegon, Thatcher and Reagan, but we don't do politics. Itchy and scratchy. It was beautiful. Just like my beautiful relationship that I had with Mini Wargaming Dave the first couple of times I met him. So me and Matt made beautiful content babies. That is up on YouTube, but it was a bit brutal, so I sunk it in as an early one because I knew the machine spirit, God bless the Omnissiah, and all those things. I knew that that algorithm wouldn't like it there as much as a typical one, like for example the 4-way one the week before with Tabletop Titans, because it was a short one. So anyway, so that Sunday, instead of a DZTV one this Sunday, it was a YouTube one. So next Sunday is a YouTube one. And then the Sunday after that, I'll start releasing the Bell Tolls, my new campaign. And what I do, as ever, all my campaigns are available inside Deployment Zone. So Deployment Zone, www.deploymentzone.tv. But this campaign will also be published on YouTube once every other week as well. So you'll have a normal battle report every other week and the Bell Tolls every other week. And then there's the Bell Tolls on YouTube. There is already my other campaign, the Silver Cage, that I did with 1,000 Suns on YouTube. And then the Necromunda campaign, which finishes on Thursday in the Deployment Zone. I'm thinking about putting that in membership in the future as well. So everyone in the Deployment Zone doesn't miss anything. And if anyone else who wants to follow me through YouTube can follow me on YouTube. And Tier 2 unlocks the Discord on YouTube, and Tier 3 will unlock the Discord and all the campaigns and all the videos on YouTube. So I really enjoyed filming the Bell Tolls over the weekend. And what was really, I've got Mikey P and Monkey in here, and then we've got naked girls. See, there we go, Mikey P. He's on it. Look at that. And that is moderation working in action there. That's the first time I've seen that. That was quick. That was hardcore. That was naked, and you pounded those naked girls right out of there, Mikey P. Well done. So thunderbolt of lightning, very, very frightening indeed. Galileo, 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 Figaro, Figaro. Easy come, easy go. I'm just a... So Thunderbolt and Lightning, thank you for your donation. Love the fact that you are doing YouTube membership, since I can use my TV. I can use my TV. You can use your TV. I don't think YouTube membership means that... So basically what you're saying is, before I did YouTube membership, you couldn't use your TV. See, there I am, not only creating awesome content from the minds of tactical brilliance, which I don't mention my brilliance very much. You've got to be humble. You've got to be humble. But I did win this trophy once. Anyway, I don't mention it very much. But even now, my tactical brilliance is allowing people to use their TV, such as Thunderbolt and Lightning, who never was able to use his TV before. So, and I'm on Mikey P's TV right now. And 8th Jerry, oh my good emperor. Yes, oh my good emperor is exactly what you should be thinking. God Emperor is perhaps the correct way to spell it, with a capital G and a capital E, but you could just say he's a good emperor. Now, I don't want to argue with you, but good isn't one of the personality traits I would assign to the God Emperor of mankind. I can't think of a time when he was good by normal moral standards. I don't think you can equate normal moral standards to the God Emperor of mankind and call him good, like you might be able to equate a moral standard to a 2-year-old child that gets a cone of ice cream and shoves it in your face. You might decide to talk about morality to the 2-year-old. To the 12-year-old, you might decide to talk about morality, or you might decide to pick it upside down, hang it upside down, and it depends if it's your child. It depends it's your child. But hang it upside down for a while. I've got a couple of nephews, and when we see them, we can actually see them next week. I'll talk about that in a minute as well. But whenever they're annoying me, one's 12 and one's 10, and whenever they annoy me, I just turn them upside down for a while, and I find that calms things right down. They don't annoy me very often. They are very lovely. I do like playing football and badminton and running around with them and things like that. Child within, unleash the child within, I say. But yeah, if they score too many goals, you grab them, you hang them upside down for a while. It sorts them right out. This is not parental advice. This is just what I do. Grammaticus described him as jovial during a lunch during the retaking of Terra. He could have been jovial, but a good emperor, a jolly emperor. I mean, that's a stretch as well, isn't it? A jolly emperor. A jolly good emperor. So you've got Grammaticus describing as jovial. You've got Thunderbolter or someone else saying that he was the emperor of mankind. He's a jolly good emperor. He's jolly and a good. Hit the like button, says Bobby Hooper. Yes. Hit that like button. Massage the holy oil of the algorithm. Say the prayer, I like thee. I like thee. Press that button. It is, however, very solid uncle advice. What is? No idea what you're talking about. Andy H. Take super glue and accelerator with you. You can glue kids to the ceiling. Nice. Yeah. It's like in the Simpsons movie. You know, Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig can. It's not like the Simpsons movie at all, but that was a hilarious scene, wasn't it? Hey, what other emperor had an empire that lasted 10,000 years? Exactly. I mean, the Necrons, it might have been millions. The Silent King, but he's back. He's like the God Emperor of mankind waking up, and they don't even bother. Anyway, so there is now a whole series available on Winter's SEO on YouTube for those of you that's interested, and there's a Discord on YouTube for those that are interested, and then there'll become another series which will be available on Winter's SEO as well as DZTV and more besides. So those of you that prefer the YouTube option and can take the YouTube option and join my community there, or those of you that prefer the dedication and the warmth and cuddles that you get from the Deployment Zone community, and believe me, they're the warmest cuddles you can ever get, can also join there. So campaigns, that's the campaigns that were happening. So what that meant was Monkey stayed down Saturday, Sunday, and I had such a great time filming with Monkey on Saturday and Sunday, and the campaign on Sunday, for example, he stayed the night. We topped and tailed, fed each other coffee, spoonful of coffee in the morning. I scrubbed his back, he scrubbed mine. It was lovely. He's lactose intolerant, of course, because people that nice and kind obviously have to have some kind of curse, and his curse is he can't eat cheese, and that would be a terrible curse. I know you and me and most normal people on the planet really like cheese. Cheese is better. Food is better with cheese. The end. It doesn't matter what food it is, you put cheese on top of it, probably with the exception of ice cream and chocolate, but probably with that exception, cheese is better. Everything is better with cheese. If you don't believe everything is better than cheese, I believe everything's better with cheese on it. Fight me. Fight me. The Dagda, thank you for your dono. I always imagine the Emperor as Les Dawson. Again, that's a completely new thought, like a jolly emperor, a jovial emperor, or a good emperor. That has not occurred to me before. Thank you for putting that idea in my head. Don't know what to do with it. Ice cream and chips are fantastic. Yes, they are. And everything's better with cheese. Cheesecake and ice cream. Having said that, I'm not a great fan of cheesecake. I love cake and I love cheese. But cheesecake, I could give it a miss. You know what I mean? Most other cakes, I'm on it. Cheese on your pastas, on your roast dinner, on your toast. Cheese on anything else. I'm there. But cheesecake is a bit like... Yeah. Is it better breaded or with garlic butter? What are you talking about? I don't know. Chocolate ice cream isn't better with cheese. I said chocolate and ice cream. So there's exceptions to every rule, Aussie. There's exceptions to every rule. Babies what? Humorless milk. Babies what? There was a baby. We talked about a baby. The first living saint has been born. If you want to go back to that chat, someone remind him. I'd say, got a new stopwatch now, Humorless Milk. And you still haven't changed your name to the name, have you? It needs to be the name. I know who you are, and this needs to go back. You go back about 20 minutes or something. Strange Con knocking is here, and I found, is cheese better with cheese? Yeah, cheese is better with cheese. Don't you think? My friend told me a story once. Got a massive husky, and there's a big block of cheese on the side for Christmas or something. Husky loved cheese, so the husky went, and its whole throat and jaw opened up so it could swallow this block down. It's like, and what are you going to do? It's gone. You know, a cheese bigger than a book-sized chunk of cheese. And he knew he couldn't eat it, and you knew he wasn't going to eat it. But after he took it outside and went, and then feasted on it over the course of the next couple of hours, you're not getting the cheese back after it's been down your husky's throat. Oh yeah, that's how much animals love cheese. And are we not animals? Are we just not animals with supercomputers in our primitive gibbon brains, wandering around the rainforest, wondering, oh, what's that over here? And can I get home without getting stabbed? And is the earth going to end tomorrow? And you know, did I leave the gas on? Did I leave the gas on? And when I come back, is the cave going to be on fire? And all my gibbon children, probably a tasty treat, to be fair, because back then protein, you know, eating on cooked meat was one of the things that propelled our dietary. One of the things that propelled our evolution, wasn't it? Because you got lots of monkeys and the great apes, they eat and eat and eat. The great apes, our closest ancestors, just eat all the time. They're using their hands all the time, having a little bit of meat and grubs. But we, cooking fire, there's evidence for that for 2-3 million years, I don't know, millions of years, long before anatomically correct human beings turned up, long before Homo sapiens sapiens, which is about 250,000 years ago. That's the earliest they can find, but it might go back 350 or 500,000 years ago. But basically we've been around for somewhere between 500,000 and 250,000 years ago. But we domesticated fire up to 2 million years, well, more than 2 million years ago, which allowed us to not eat all the time. It's much more efficient for absorbing protein. And then we had these hands, and then we had mouths, and we were like, we can paint models and talk to each other about 40k. And then here we are, painting models and talking to each other about 40k. What was I talking about? Let's jump into the chat for something intelligent. No one puts pineapple on pizza, Carl Johnson. Yes, people do put pineapple on pizza. Do not gatekeep others. Follow your passion, whatever you are. Horus Heresy, for example. I'm a bit concerned when I actually start playing Horus Heresy, that because there's loads of gatekeepers in this hobby. There's the competitive people that say these are the best people in the world and this is the right way to play 40k, and they are only correct insofar as it's their opinion. It's their opinion that based on this setup, this way of getting rules, that these are the best people in the world, where really the best people in the world are people who fight in there's someone out there, there's a Timmy out there fighting in Austria somewhere in a group of about 50 people that just smashes them relentlessly. Out of all the people who play competitively, there's a tiny subset that we know of, and the vast majority of people play competitively and not on that we know of. And there's the great. And anyway, that's the right way to play 40k. That's the best way to play 40k, is an opinion. And they often look down on people who, or gatekeep, or have an elitist view of people who play narratively, but vice versa. There's narrative people out there that gatekeep, that put their stamps on things, so that when someone turns up and say, yeah, I'd love to come along to your narrative weekend, or we're having a house and there's 8 of us in a house and we've invited little Timmy along, and little Timmy comes along with his Iron Hands army, and it's all made up of dreadnoughts and melters and Terminators, because that's Iron Hands, right? And the other narrative players turn around to him and say, wow, your list is a bit chonk because it's got more than 3 dreadnoughts in it. It's got this thing dreadnought, this dreadnought, and a chunk longer of Terminators. That's not very narrative, isn't it? As if one of the requirements to be narrative is to bring along the shittest list you possibly can, and then your narrative. So there's gatekeeping at both ends. There's gatekeeping at the painting end. There's gatekeeping at the heresy end. I've had heresy friends say to me that you don't just have to paint for heresy to a tabletop standard. You need to paint for heresy to a heresy standard. What bullshit is that? Everyone imposing ideas on other people all the time about, no, this is the right way to play 40k, this is the right way to play 40k, this is the right paint scheme for 40k, that's not the right paint scheme for 40k. The only thing that's right in the whole of 40k is you follow your passion. It's a game, and you help other people follow their passion as well. Help, promote, shout, cheer. Don't be a gatekeeper, be a gateway. You've all met gateways. You've all had those negative comments in your gaming group, or bumped into this guy in the store, or spoke to someone who made you feel a little bit shit because of a choice you made, or a painting colour you made, or da-da-da-da. You can't control them around you, but you can light a candle, you can light a torch, you can light the way yourself and be the gateway and not a gatekeeper. One of the things that I find is, no matter what I say or do, because I have such a broader influence, I mean, I'm one of you dudes. I'm one of you, just a humble gamer trying to make his way in this crazy world. And here I am on a platform at 49 years old, wondering how I got here. And no doubt a number of you are wondering how you got here as well. And here's what I find. So no matter what I say or do, I'll always get judged badly in some way for something I do. Now, whatever you say or do, sometimes you get judged back, but I always get it, and that's horrible. And then I think of people who are much more famous than me, the artists, the games designers, the authors, the film stars, Tom Cruise, murder threats to this actor or that. It's just crazy. It's crazy. People will judge you negatively for no matter how positive you are. And you guys experience that as well. Don't do that. Rusty Gears, thank you for your donation. Love you very much. Love the Monday chats, but can't always make it live. Here's a little bit of something you can beer or boba tea if you're not on the beer thing. Did you stock up on old Nolan oil? Yes, I'd heard that Nolan oil is going. 1 minute. Bugger. I did go to Games Workshop only recently just to buy a pot and a pot, and I didn't get any Nolan oil. You know, this is one of the things why I haven't thrown myself into the Primaris range of Marines like I did with the 13th Firstborn Marines, is because you can't get the original paint colour for the 13th, and actually the Secondborn of the 13th are ultramarine blue underneath, sprayed ultramarine blue underneath, because it was the closest thing I could find to their OG colours. And when you put the two armies side by side, the Firstborn and the Second Company, or Firstborn and Primera, sorry, for those that don't know, when you put them side by side, you can notice the different tone. When they're across the battlefields, you mainly can't. But yeah, it kind of put me off a little bit in basically vehicles. Second Company vehicles don't look... You can do the Marines, but Primaris vehicles, the tinge is wrong. The tinge is wrong. Where are we? Jerome! DZTV Jerome, you changed your thing. Thank you so much. You're now moderator. Well done. Jerome, the last of the Necromunda Season 2 will be going up on deployingzone.tv this Thursday. Thank you. Thank you for your commitment, your dedication. I did actually play a game against you as well, didn't I? Did you use guard? I forget what you used. I need to get that one done as well. Jerome, what army did you bring? Was it guard or was it... It was Iron Warriors. It was Iron Warriors. That's okay. Because if there's any guard videos or demon videos, or what's the other one that hasn't been up yet? I need to get them up. Like, while they're still relevant, last hurrahs, things like that. So, have you tried P3 Sigma Blue? That could be a... That's and Des. I've tried all the blues, Des. All the blues. I've tried blues and I've made my own blues. And... it's, yeah, I think I had an idea. Now, this is first. If you sat down in a room for me long enough, I'll have an idea. I have an idea. You'll hear that 20 times. And one of these ideas might come true. But this is an idea that might come true. I don't know. But I did have an idea about doing a whole new Primaris Space Marine army. And make them Gravis heavy and lean towards all the stuff I haven't got, basically. There's basically a chunk of models, all the Gravis apart from the Chompy Doyuds, ATVs. I've got a repulsor, but you know what I mean. Get a chunk of that new stuff and make them maybe Iron Hands, lean that way. They feel very Iron Handy to me. But then I'd have to add that on top of the Necron project, which stuff over here I can't show you, and the 30k projects, which I can't show you. But yeah, it's an idea anyway. What do we think of that? Anyone idea? What was the original colours of the 13th called? I cannot remember. I can't remember now. There'll be a video in the playlists where I do a tutorial on the OG 13th. So please don't pick white or yellow as a colour scheme. Yeah, I know, Monkey. I know. White and yellow, the horrible... Oh, yes. Ain't my first rodeo, baby. It would be a very simple colour scheme, or I could pitch them off to Den of Imagination to paint a whole new Space Marine army from the ground up, but technically they're doing that already with a 30k project, and then I have spoken to them about sending them another 30k project, because I'm going hard for 30k. Oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to mention. There is a Horus Heresy 30k no retreat event at the last day of January, and I think I put up the thing advertising it on my community page and on Instagram. I'm DZTV Winters SEO on the old Instagram, and I'm really thinking about going to, if my mate Alex, congratulations Alex, babies, Euphrates Keeler, the living saint, worship, if my mate Alex can get off the end of January, I will go with him to the Horus Heresy no retreat campaign in Gibraltar, because if you haven't been to a no retreat, it's absolutely awesome. But one of the things you need to be able to do is have a really awesome army. They try, and because they're always oversubscribed basically, so they're always trying to pick the best painted, best representative armies that they can, because they're spoiled for choice. And the armies that I'm getting a Den of Imagination army, so I'm good. And also they're both Isfan 3 loyalist traitor legions. So two of the legions that turned traitor. These forces didn't turn traitor. They're absolutely loyalist, because as we all know, the first act of war that the War Master perpetrated was betrayal. It was fratricide. It was killing his own kind, purging out the ones from within. And it can be argued that the most loyal of loyalists aren't necessarily the Ultramarines or the Imperial Fists, who never turned traitor, who never had to ask those questions, who were off doing their own thing, and then the heresy broke out, and clearly Horus is the bad guy, so it's easy for Space Marine Jimmy, Timmy, Last Wall, First Wall to say, yeah, sure, they're the bad guys. I'm with you, Rogel Dawn, I'm with you, Gilliman, let's kill the traitors. They didn't have much of that soul-searching to do. They didn't have hardly any of that soul searching to do. Of course, some legions did, such as the Dark Angels, White Scars, Night Lords to some degree, and some others, which we'll... Too many to mention. There's always greys at the edges. But the ones at the core, the ones at the very start, the World Eaters, the sons of Horus, the Emperor's children, and the Death Guard that chose to stay loyal despite their oaths of brotherhood, despite their bonds, their oaths of moment and their bonds. These are beings that are genetically engineered and hypnogenically, if that's such a word, hypno training. They're programmed to believe, to follow, to know. Their Primarch for brotherhood, for loyalty. In fact, that's why it's often said during the Heresy, before the start of the Heresy, that the idea of a Space Marine turning on Space Marine was inconceivable to Space Marines. The Red Marked, forget his name, of the Ultramarines, the sergeant was sanctioned for even thinking of a scenario where Space Marines could go up against Space Marines. It's like you thinking that, it's like you waking up in the morning and finding yourself standing on the ceiling and walking around your house on the ceiling. And if you step out the front door, you fall down through the sky into space. It's inconceivable. It doesn't even come to our minds. So when you think of the greatest loyalists, the strongest loyalists, those are the ones that had to break those oaths of fealty and had to turn on their brothers and still say, I do not bend. I am for the Emperor. I am for the Imperium. I am for mankind. I am for the species. That's what the Emperor's for. Whereas Horus believed it was for the species, for this, for that. But then it goes down a whole other route about Horus's and traitors' intentions. What I'm saying is, the loyalists who chose to stay loyal if everyone around you is going mad and you're the one staying sane, saying, no, this is what I do because my roots run deep and my roots are pure, and you're appealing to a higher, yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to bring those along to the no retreat thing, and really looking forward to going to that. And I thought I would throw it out there to tell you, if you're interested, to meet me and come out to the no retreats thing. It'd be lovely to meet. It would be brilliant if Winter's SEO community kind of took over a no retreat event. Don't tell them I said that. But then, everyone there is like really keen. We are hypno-indoctrinated, thank you, Inquisitor Dex. Anoid Thiel, yes, of course. Thiel is a poggers dude. He is an absolute fire, the sergeant from the No Thiel book. We are getting spammed by naked ladies. Well, we have been, and then you've been fighting against them. Yeah. So thank you for fighting against them. I don't know how. So, okay, so that's where I am. Campaigns, I covered that. We cover campaigns. So the bell tolls is coming, and that will be for channel members as a thank you and to help pay the mortgage, and that will also be available on the Deployment Zone. We talked about Heresy quite a lot. We talked about babies and we talked about Babble. And I talked about the no retreat. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think that's it. There are a couple of exciting things happened over the weekend as well, apart from filming with Monkey all the way over the weekend. He stayed the night on Saturday. We don't do that, but it was a lastminute.com thing because the schedule got changed around. So he actually stayed the night. So in the evening, Sultan came round and we played a game. And I put a couple of photos up on DZTV Winters SEO on Instagram. And it occurs to me, actually, I should use the community tab on YouTube more, shouldn't I? Instead of putting them up on Instagram, or as well as putting them up on Instagram, I should put them on the community tag on YouTube, because that is what it's for. And I didn't, because me. And I'm sorry if Sultan is in the house. I'm sorry about your models. Obviously, I'm not known for someone to knock models down. We got all the pieces. I'm also sorry I tried to fix them and put the wrong arms on the wrong models. But obviously, I really, 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 really didn't want to hurt any of your beautiful models. They're Black Templars, they're Loyalists, they're gorgeous. The only models I'd ever willingly hurt are Craftworld Eldar, but fortunately I think they're all recovered now. And yes, didn't drop kick the Black Templar's monkey. It wasn't drop kicking, was it? It wasn't. There was a thing. It was hot. We had the aircon on, and he put his tray thing on top of the aircon, little wheelie aircon with the hose, because it's really hot. He put the tray on the aircon. He should put the tray of his models on the tables. There's 3 tables in that room. Have you seen the shelves? There's a lot of shelves in that room. He could have put the tray of models anywhere, but he put it on top of the aircon, which isn't normally there. And obviously I've patterned that room so I can navigate around it like Spider-Man. And then when I bump the tray of models... Also, another thing is, you can glue together strongly. Like when I glue my stuff together, I put, like, if there isn't at least 7 pots of glue on that, the idea is you can drop them and they're absolutely fine, Bits might fly off sometimes. I say they're absolutely fine. So every now and then, someone might get a little bit armless, but they're rare. I mean, that time when I'm not the only one to drop models, there was that time when Chewie and my book wasn't on the table with my Death Guard Terminators on it, I know, and the window was open and it was summer, but my book at least was on the windowsill with the Terminators on it, right? So there was plenty of room to move around. I mean, you didn't touch it when you moved around because Codex on the windowsill, but he decided to pick up the Codex. Death Guard Blightlaw's Terminator launched into the garden, and down below that's a hard patio. Feet don't touch grass, remember? Hard patio bouncing around all over the place. Those Death Guard, I stuck them together uninjured because they're also disgusting and resilient. So some people, it happens. And I'm sorry, Sultan, if he's in the chat. And Sultan, if you're not in the chat, then maybe because someone could tell him that. I said sorry. Marius Gage, thank you for donation. Thank you so much. You haven't had a game in years and years. Thanks for letting me live vicariously through your hobby. Hope you take us to Gibraltar. Dude, I'm really looking forward to going to Gibraltar. I have been to a number of their events. I won this trophy once. I don't try to mention it very much, but I've never been to a Horus Heresy event. So I'll try and vlog it. When I went to Canada, I didn't manage to end up vlogging the Canada trip. Ended up managing to do the We Rob Mini Wargaming thing, but didn't vlog the Canada trip. So try and drop I did vlog the Legends trip, I think. So anyway, I'll vlog this one. I'll try and I will make some content from it. How useful or sober or coherent the content is, I don't know. And Henrik, thank you for becoming a tier 3. Welcome to the 13th. Enjoy the campaign and the new campaigns coming next Sunday. That means the Bell Tolls is going to come out every other week on DZ or members. Now, I could squeeze it in faster, and in the days of Netflix, squeezing it in faster seems like a good idea instead of every 2 weeks. But if I do that on top of the painting and other commitments and filming and editing, then this doesn't feel like a job to me. This feels like just more hobby all the time. And to do that, you have to follow your passion. You have to follow what you like. You have to follow what you want to do. And so if I feel compelled to get them done quicker, then I'll feel compelled. And that starts pushing. So it doesn't feel like a burden. So it doesn't feel like I follow the passion. Always follow what you want to do. For me, that's what works for me, for my mental health. Do what I want to do. Do what, yeah. And then you're doing what you want to do, right? So if I pull them and try and get them all done, I'm not going to be able to get them all done without it feeling like a burden. Particularly as I should mention, on Saturday, I'm going to Poland for a week. So is that Saturday? I think we're flying out on Saturday, and then we're back the Saturday after. So I think it's 30th to the 6th, something like that. So going to Poland with my wife. So I'm not going to be around next Monday for a live stream. Maybe I should have put in the title, instead of campaigns, heresy, babies, and babble. I was thinking these title things really confuse me. Like, what do I put in there? And I should have said last live stream for 2 weeks. I should have put that. Damn it. So I'm not here next week. I'm going to Poland, going to the Polish seaside. There might be some Polish people in the chat. Just like in UK, there's lots of people who go down to the seaside, go to Devon or Cornwall, or if you're Manchester, Liverpool way, you might go to North Wales and along there, and in the southeast, all over the place. We go to the seaside in the summer. In Poland, a lot of them, there is a Polish seaside, hundreds and hundreds of miles to the along the Baltic Sea in the north, and there's cabins that you can stay in, and compared to UK money, very cheap, like cheap bed and breakfast type stuff. Unlike going to a caravan in the UK down in Cornwall, which will cost you like £20,000 a night. I mean, it's like £1,000 a week or something with caravans in Cornwall now, isn't it? In the summer, it is crazy money. Otto SG, thank you for your donation. Love you very much. 2 winters fun to repair broken bottles, pots of glue. I always have spare. Got these, and then when that gets to the last one, then I'm on them. And I like the little 3 ones because I'll use all one. And other types of glue are available. Hashtag not sponsored. But yeah, thank you. So we're going to go to the Polish seaside for a week. I've never been with the fam. My wife is Polish, so she's obviously been to the seaside a lot, and her family have been to the seaside a lot, to the cabins. And while we're out there, I've got some books to read, and we're going to see Den of Imagination that are quite close, and a couple of the northern cities up there as well. So it isn't like 7 days on the beach, just chilling, doing sod all. We're going to do a bit of sightseeing as well, get a car. And yeah, £1,000 a week or some crap like that, or £1,500 a week in the UK. But out there, it's literally like £20 or £30 a day, bed and breakfast. So UK money, it's really good. I think we're paying for the whole week like 130. So that with food, count me in. I'm there. And then my father-in-law's picking us up from the airport, and then we're going to steal his car because he's up at the beach for like 3 weeks or some stuff with lots of family and cousins and things. So looking forward to that. So not here next week at the Polish seaside. Really looking forward to seeing, to just chilling and seeing that side of the culture, because I don't know about you, but I love exploring and tasting different parts of the world, different food. And the best thing is discovering different cultures, different books, different foods, different histories, different places, different people, different. It's the little things that make it all very interesting, isn't it? How hamburgers in one country compared to hamburgers in another country. I've mentioned food a lot. The diet's going well. Thanks for asking. The diet's going really well. Basically, I'm eating what she's giving me, and it's the best diet I've ever been on because I'll eat anything she gives me. But last night I did have a full packet of kettle crisps, salt and vinegar, and I haven't had that much fat. You know the kettle crisps, the salt and vinegar ones? Polish food is fantastic, absolutely. She's a really great cook as well, my wife is. Visit good old Kurnow. Yeah, I love Kurnow. No Emmets. Well, I lived there for a couple of years, so I wasn't an Emmet. And I've been down there a few times. Food is important. Food is fuel. Monkey, food isn't fuel. Food is important. Polish beer. Now, Polish honey beer. Oh, so sweet and lovely. What was I talking about? What was I talking about beforehand? Come to America winters, we have great food. Yes, but you also have zero food standards, regulation. So some of the food is absolutely fantastic. Texas barbecue, New York pizza, things like that. But a lot of the food gives you uranium and you die. So your food tastes mind you, I like radiator food. I like nuked food. I do like nuked food. I do like 58,000 calories, your ice creams, your donuts. You're talking about YouTube flashing up on me. You're talking about things like that. So I'm down for food. But I think in life, we shouldn't talk about politics, but I think in life some things need regulations like, I don't know, airplanes, nuclear power plants and food. Things like that. But no politics. Where are we? Your holiday and eating abroad. It's honey beer. Yes, Heinrich. If you go on, how do you, I can't use my thing because I know I can use my laptop and show stuff, but there's like Polish honey beer. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm more interested to hear you talk about Poland now. Can you speak Polish winters? Troszkę. As a native Chicagoan, Christian is hurt that you do not like our pizza. Well, send me a slice. I'll let you know. I've never had Chicago pizza. There is a company in the UK. You can get a box of Chicago pizza from like Tesco's or something. It's called Chicago Pizza. It's shit. So wouldn't recommend. But I doubt it's Chicago and I doubt it's proper pizza. Polish mayo is amazing, much better than British. It is. We use Polish mayo here. I don't know why. Why is it? And it looks the same in the jar, but it's better than the Heinz crap. Yeah. But some food is better in different countries, like Italian coffee and Irish Guinness and English roast beef with Yorkshire pudding and Italian pasta, American burgers. It's just, why are we talking about food? She made me bacon sandwiches this evening. Get in there. Or a toasted bacon sandwich with his onion and pickle and tomato and lettuce. Like if I'd make a bacon sandwich, bread, ketchup, bomb, done. Bacon sandwich, right? But she makes this, it's orgasm in my mouth. Foodgasm. What were we talking about? Swedish rotten herring. Yeah, that's the rotten Otto, the rotten herring thing is the thing that they give tourists and say they all eat, right? But no one eats because the smell of it can make you die. What are we talking about? We did campaign. I'm looking forward to go to the Horus Heresy event. So if you have got a Horus Heresy army or thinking about painting up a Horus Heresy army and you're thinking about coming to the Horus Heresy event at not Legends at No Retreat in Gibraltar, please hit me up and let me know. But also make sure that I do know that SN like to get as broad a selection as possible. So if they can, they will try and get no more than one or two of any particular type of army. So if you are collecting something particularly esoteric, and if you are a fantastic painter, or you're getting a fantastic commission, or if you're somewhere far away, like Australia, New Zealand, Tahiti, Wales, if you're somewhere distant and exotic like that, then they like to make sure that the event is as culturally represented as it can be. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. And of course, January in Jib is warm. It's always warm. So Brennan, just finished painting my first 1,000 points of Space Marines. I've got a long way to go before I decide to do another army. Still not finished with this one. Great time though. And we've got naked girls again. It's brilliant. So many naked girls this evening. Jesus Mikey. What are we saying my Jesus Mikey to up there? I don't know. I don't know how to make them go away. Someone else is deleting them again. You see, Mikey P and Monkey, I'm pleased you're in the chat. And in the future, if anyone wants to be a moderator, put their hand up. Clearly we need help. Yeah, so what else happened? A very surprising thing happened to me this morning, which I can't talk about, and I'm looking forward to talking about in the future. And another very surprising thing happened to me after I put the phone down. I was about to spill, and it's, I can't talk about that. I can't talk about that. But it's funny that surprising things happen to me, like Monkey stays over on a Saturday night. But that was lovely. I hadn't really sat down with him for a long time on his own before. It's only been around people or while we were filming, so in and sit and chat about hobby stuff and then out again. It was a long period of time to be trapped with someone, and Kat really loves Monkey and I love Monkey, and we enjoyed ourselves so much. We didn't actually start filming on the second day until about 1:30. We were just chatting shit for hours. It was fantastic. And so that was great. Yeah. So that was a good weekend. And I'm filming tomorrow with Chewy and someone else. And then I've got to edit Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then Saturday fly out. So you won't see me on Monday. This Sunday video, what video is it this Sunday? Yes, this Sunday it will be, this Thursday on DZTV is the Necromunda campaign. Sunday is going to be the YouTube Word Bearers versus 13th, I think. And I need to write the story time for that. And then next Sunday will be Members and DZTV, the Bell Tolls campaign, which ends on the last dice roll. It's bloody epic. Nearly said the F word there. Fecking epic. And Tuesday, I think next Tuesday is also the DZTV Every Other Tuesday one. And plans for a new show coming to YouTube members and something else. It's been an emotional roller coaster of a week. I'm enjoying myself. How are you? That's an hour. I try not to, despite each of these running over for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. See, stopwatch helped. I try not to babble on too long because I'm aware that your time is precious. And I'm aware that we keep getting invaded by naked Tinder bots. And Jerome deleted them. Look at him. Only just made him a mod and he's stepping up to the plate there. Well done. So before I say goodbye, are there any questions, comments, anything intelligent from the chat? Is there anything you want to talk about this evening while you've got me? Those Chaos Space Marines are looking pretty good, particularly Word Bearers. I like them. They're strong. What codex we've got next? Demons, the squats, and the. I like the Angron model. Think he's groovy. I like the fact that he's all hunched over and bestial, because he's not tall and straight like a Slaanesh thing or Magnus with his arm out. He is down there because that's where most things are to him, getting stuck in there. Glorious model. Angry boy. What do we want to talk about? Like the Blood T1000, Heresy. Are you getting a squat army? I am, honestly, I don't know. I did. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this. But I did mention, I don't talk to Games Workshop. I don't know if this is breaking NDAs and stuff. What I mean by that is I don't talk to them very much. They don't talk to me very much. I think I've talked about this before. It's very much a huge company and they tell you some stuff and they give you some things and that's the NDA. There might be some people deeper in it, but it's like any other NDA. Here's sign an NDA, yay, and we'll give you some stuff. It's advertising, right? They're giving people things for advertising. That's how this stuff works. I think we can talk about that. It's fairly common to know. But here's an idea. When it comes to massive releases such as a brand new model range or Warhammer Fantasy Old World or Heresy even, this is one thing they didn't do. One of the things they could have done with the Heresy is allow people, they did, I'm getting close, I'm touching cloth here. They could do more, let's say that. They could do more so that when something big releases, then there is time and content already freely available out there, ready to go. But I guess they even release content like Chaos Space Marines and all sorts of things. They release stuff all the time without ever and announce stuff that's coming out all the time without actually selling you the models. There's still Heresy stuff that I can't get. There's still stuff from the Chaos Space Marine Codex that people can't get. There's still, yeah. So I guess they're just bad all round when it comes to actually releasing stuff. So what am I even talking about? Wouldn't it be better if they were better at releasing stuff? Yay, I think we can all agree on that. Questions, Guy. Where are we? Why would you put ketchup on a bacon sandwich? Why wouldn't you put ketchup on a bacon sandwich? Why wouldn't you? Some people don't. I ordered a Megara Knight. Well done. Angron worst Primarch. Yes, definitely. Well, weakest Primarch, most frail, most timid, most useless Primarch. Worst Primarch, probably Lorgar. Angron, best Primarch? No. Otto, tell is your best breakfast? Don't know. What you're talking about is that English. Aussie, if you don't know, don't risk it. Again, I was coming here for some serious stuff before I buggered off. And this, what is your next army that you can talk about? Winters, Necrons. I'm smashing my way through them. Sons of Horus, Death Guard. What's the other one? Emperor's Children and World Eaters. This is the thing about squats. Like, I've got a lot of armies, and I haven't played with AdMech very much because I don't have a PhD, and I haven't played with Custodies very much because they feck them up, and they don't feel like... That's a whole other video. And I don't play with my Knights very much because what used to be an easy... Press the easy button. Here's 4 models. Let's play with them has turned into, oh my god. So, and even though I'm not playing some of the armies I do own, I don't feel a great itch to suddenly start new armies because I've got projects. We start projects, right? I don't necessarily start armies. The Necron project is really good and the Heresy project is really good. So I don't feel an urge to start the Votan's project. I do like the aesthetic. They're making it look like sci-fi. Like, we've had the Gundam with the Tau, and the aesthetic is different. Dark Eldar obviously looks different. Chaos Space Marines, very different. But you could, that ATV picture that they released and the other, it looks like you might see... This is the objection that some people had to Tau when Tau first came out. They looked at the aesthetic to Tau and thought, oh, you might see that aesthetic in manga, or you might see that aesthetic in another setting. Before then, Warhammer 40k was so unique that most of the aesthetics you'd only ever see in a Gothic cathedral in the middle of Hungary. That's about the similarity that you had with 40k before Tau, before anything real worldish. That and babies floating around with wings. So Tau came along and people were like, that was one of the objections to Tau. One of the people being gatekeepers instead of gateways. Oh, this aesthetic. But I kind of liked it because in a galaxy of 200 billion stars, you're going to have lots of things represented if you allow for Xenos life to be all across the galaxy. And so I like the fact that they're going for a futuristic STC. This is how mankind could have been. This is a bit better. Here's some AI, here's some stuff, here's some really cool. So I like the aesthetic. It's different. It's not grim. It doesn't look grim dark yet, the aesthetic. I do hope their narrative is really grim dark because their aesthetic doesn't feel enough. That's another thing over the problem with the people have with the Towers. Their aesthetic wasn't grim dark enough, but they've certainly grim darked it over time to make the Tau story and narrative very compelling. But yeah, so any more questions? Where are we? Your hobby, do you? Hey ho, yes. Liam says Voltan looked like NASA Punk to me. Yeah, exactly. So that's a good thing, right? We've got a different aesthetic, looking different. NASA Punk is cool. Christian says Dead Space Gears of War for me, very industrial motor versus rugged looking. Yeah, the Gears of War type vibe. Yeah, that's cool. And why not? We need more Xenos races. We need more non-imperial races. They're doing Votan. I hope in 3 years' time, I hope Leagues of Votan is such a... Is it Votan? I think it's Votan. I think I want it to be massively successful in the way Sisters were massively successful. I think Sisters were massive. I don't know, but assuming they're massively successful because they came out with a second codex pretty quickly with a whole new range of models. The first codex 1.0 and the first plastic model range was basically a retread of everything that came before. They were keeping it safe, keeping it mean, and then they came up with all the other spiky bits. I'm sure that came out of the fact that the Sisters release was actually well received. I do recall box sets selling out and stuff, and I hope the Leagues of Votan is hugely successful and loads of people buy it. So on that note, I should probably buy it and encourage people to buy it as much as possible, because I want another Xenos race in 2-3 years time. Not one, not to let people, but say every 3 years. This is one thing they haven't done. Say in 10 years time, there's 3 brand new Xenos races in 40k. So you'd have Tau, you'd have the Craftworld bastards, you'd have all the Orcs, you'd have the Necrons, you'd have the Tyranids. and you've got the leagues, and you've got the big chonky things of Doom, and you've got those irradiated civil left light things over there, and you've got these, and each of them a different feel, and they're different. That's cool. Galaxy Xenos, particularly with a great rift ripping the galaxy in half, it must be time for some of these Xenos factions to jump at the bit and gnaw at the soft underbelly of the Imperium while it's a little bit weak. I hope the League, the squat thing is so successful that Games Workshop goes, oh my Emperor, that was so successful. Quick, let's do another Xenos faction. Which means it will take like 3, 4, 5 years before we see the next Xenos faction, because it's a massive supertanker, and supertankers take a very long time before they change direction because they're big and cumbersome and full of oil. So, yeah, I hope it's a massive success, and I hope off the back of it we get more Xenos love, I think. Space Skaven, no. I don't think Space Skaven. Harud would be good, and they're not really Skaven. Dark Mech, that would be great. Dark Mech would be good. Dark Mech would be very good. This is the thing, though. So you can do Dark Mech, and you could do Traitor Guard. But this feels like the easy switch to me, Dark Mech and Traitor Guard. Because Traitor Guard and Dark Mech, though. I mean, here's the thing. It shouldn't be one or the other, should it? There should be Dark Mech and Traitor Guard out there. And, yeah. I can't see why they wouldn't sell. Combine them in one book beforehand and call them Chaos Auxiliary units if you want. Test the water first, like you did with Skitarii, like Chaos Auxiliary units, or Chaos Extras, or Chaos Plus, now with 2, and bring them out. And in it you have various Dark Mech stuff, and in it you have various Cult Mech stuff, and in it you have various Traitor Guard stuff. And they have rules where you can add to Thousand Suns, or, because it could be Dark Mech, or you can add to Death Guard, or you could add to Chaos Space Marines and do it as a supplement that way, or a standalone. It could be a standalone codex, like a mission. Here's a war band where some Dark Mech has got together with some Traitor Guard and they're floating around, and you can add in units from the Chaos Space Marine book. Make a specific detachment for that thing, which could be tagged on to any Chaos stuff, or a specific detachment for that thing where you can tag on anything from other Chaos stuffs, and they'd sell them by the boatload. So it should exist that way, and that'll be successful. And that's 2 more books plus more Xenos books, which equals more models. I think the community is up for it, and I think they'll sell. And yeah, I don't think the sky is the limit. I don't think that there's a saturation point. I think there's a pace of exchange, and I think they exceeded it during 9th edition. There's far too much, far too quickly. But it's far too much little, far too quickly. Far too many books and updates and rules changes and things. But the model range, we have the AdMech. Boom. Sorry, we have the Mechanicum. That's big. We have the Leagues of Votan. That's big. And the last big model release range, I don't know, what was it? It's going to be like one of the old codexes, but Custodes didn't get any real updates. AdMech didn't get any real models. What had the last big model range update? Harlequins, no. Drakari, no. Craftworld, no. Orcs got some snazzer, wagger, bagger rigs with the hoppers. Orcs got a bit of an update, but that book, again, a 9th edition, one of the bad ones. Gene Stealer Cult, don't know. Right, so it's like, so I'm going to wrap up there, I think, because we've defeated the zombie sex bots on Tinder. So well done, my mods. We've had a nice chat. You know where I am. You know what's happening in the future. Sisters or Necrons, depending how you want to slice it. Yeah, sisters, like I said. But there could be... I think there could be a major model release every 6 months. And I think the community will keep up with it. I think the ones that want to will. Games Workshop and their release is just... I don't know. I don't get it. They're so bad at it. Yeah, you go, mods. Last model range was mostly crons in terms of majority being new, I think. Yeah, so that's like 2 years ago, right? Okay, so thank you for stopping by. Please consider becoming a member and liking and subscribing. Any video you come across on YouTube that you want to give support to, including mine or someone else's. It's like praying to the machine spirits. They love it. They love a bit of it. Give them a bit of a tickle. And yeah, please consider becoming a member or joining me in the deployment zone or in my channel member stuff, and have fun, be nice to each other, love you all. God of Corn, I think we're done. I think that's good, yes. This was, I feel like apart from the times, it took us 3 times to start, I think that this one was okay. I think I might be getting better at this. I don't know. What do you think? Comment in the comment section below, those that didn't watch it at the time. Am I getting better at this? Am I deluding myself? That felt more natural. I said goodbye, so I'm going, everyone goodbye, GG's. I just pressed a button and look, new screens and things.